Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on
this evening. The extent of theft on the new highway is worse than initially thought.
The authorities say it's not just fencing that the criminals are stealing, but also equipment.
It's one of the issues uncovered by our reporter Dwayne Anderson, who was on the highway Saturday night for hours assessing what it's like on the road after dark.
The details in this Primetime News special report.
What should have been the dream solution to traffic in these parts has become a nightmare for motorists and even the authorities. Stray cattle and thieves are plaguing the new leg of Highway 2000, linking Maypen to Williamsfield. But the authorities are not allowing things to go unchecked. As promised, the police have increased their patrol of the highway. This particular unit is from the Highway Patrol Division. They pulled up here while we were doing some checks of the fencing. They obviously were alerted to the movement in the bushes and they wanted to find out what was happening. We identified ourselves and, all is well. But we also noticed that while they were here, a motorist was passing, stopped to get directions. And after giving the motorist directions, the officers made sure to tell them to proceed with caution because there have been challenges with animals on the highway. There's no evidence to suggest the victims of two recent crashes on the new highway were speeding. But the state of their cars serve as frightening proof of what can happen to vehicles when they collide with cattle on this highway. No, I don't have one of the speed guns used by police officers to test how fast motorists are going. But just based on my experience driving and being around motor cars, I can tell you none of the motorists using this street tonight have been going any slower than 100 kilometers per hour. And going that fast is clearly very dangerous in these parts. Now keeping watch for sightings of cattle is long and boring. The hours pass slowly, and it isn't helped by the presence of some other unwelcomed insects, mosquitoes. Finally, movement in the bushes. Stray cattle. Nope. False alarm. Earlier today, this particular area was lined with cattle. It's seemingly a favorite grazing area for the animals. The good thing now for motorists using this particular area of the highway is that not a single animal is to be seen. But the bad news is that should any of those animals escape wherever they are tonight, they have very easy access to the highway. This is supposed to be where the fence is, but as you can see, there is no fence. Easy access. About an hour and a half into our surveillance, the Drak boss showed up.
Purely by coincidence that I ran into your team tonight. But as you can see, we have a team out here monitoring the highway to make sure that everything is all right, to make sure that motorists are okay. If somebody runs into difficulty, we have a team that can help them. So Drak is patrolling. The contractor has a team patrolling as well, and the police are out here. We identify any areas where there might be breaches in the fences that we can respond to quickly. This particular fencing has 9 rows and one other row, or 2 other rows actually, crisscrossed. Now, almost all of them seem to be firmly set in place. Except this particular one. It is loose. Now, I'm no farmer, but just by my estimation, it seems as if this is enough space for a goat or perhaps a calf to come through. Now, in fairness to the authorities, earlier today, while I was observing what is happening on the highway, I saw teams working on the fencing. It would appear this is one area they missed and may need to address. So what we're doing is patching the areas in the fences that there were breaches, right? So we're making sure that anywhere there's a vulnerability, that we're addressing that. But it's not just the fence that is of interest to the thieves. We were told by the authorities that criminals also stole 3 expensive generators used to power lights on the road. Tonight was a good night. No major accidents to report, police officers on patrol, and not a cattle in sight. Now, will that sort of result hold over the coming days? Only time will tell. Reporting from the new highway in Clarendon, I'm Dwayne Anderson.